It can't be. They're all... They were waiting for us. And as soon as we stepped foot on dry land, they had us encircled. And now everyone is... My name is Lindy. I'm in the field of pre-war text rediscovery and reselling. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. I'm a prospector. We all were. Me and the gang called ourselves the scrap divers. Yeah, we used to explore the Colorado's riverbank or even Lake Mead sometimes. There's rarely a lot of stuff to find down there, but since were the only ones to do the diving, we got to find some rare stuff sometimes. What? What treasure? I knew Rob bragging about our discovery in that Boulder City saloon was... Half of the Mojave heard about that story. If only he'd kept his mouth shut, they would have never come for us. Rob, Miss Custo, Wetskin, all the others, everyone would still be alive right now. I have no idea. There were only 6 of them. We had the numbers, but they were all armed to the teeth. Even high-tech military-grade gear for some of them. It was a bloodbath. Oh, God. The gang. Everyone is dead now. The tin can men? No. It didn't seem like it. None used power armor, and I know what I'm talking about. Me and Wetskin once found a T-51B in Lake Mead, would have recognized it if the attackers had some. No, they didn't look like NCR soldiers or rangers. They didn't even share uniforms. Miss Custo used to be in the NCR infantry. She would have known if they were. No, not much. I was on the other side of the river, but there was a man with a weird hat, some sort of cowboy, and next to him, some kind of huntress. One of them looked like a strange ghoul, and another had weird glowing goggles. Then there was their leader, tall blonde with an eye patch and a big gun too. He was the one that killed Miss Custo. Here, I see you have a Pip-Boy. I'm gonna give you the coordinates of the armor location. Don't take advantage of my trust.
Oh, you're the outsider the Elder welcomed with open arms. The other scribes are a bit skeptical, but I only heard good things about you. Tell me, what can I do for you? A pre-war camouflage armor. Biometric readers? Hold on. Let me see first what we're talking about so I can understand your request. Steel be damned. That's the thing you found? Never seen stuff like that, but I think I know what that may be. That's an old relic from before the nukes, a military-grade stealth armor with an internal cloaking device. Yeah, like a sort of super light jumpsuit, but with a built-in infinite stealth buoy. Still, those things weren't created by the US Army of old, foreign tech from the opposing side of the conflict, the People's Republic of China. Well, finding one here means whoever used the suit was likely on a secret spying or sabotage mission, hence the biometric readers in case of capture. Even if I knew how, sharing Brotherhood secrets with outsiders is the lowliest form of treason. Sorry. I would love helping you, even only to gain all that juicy and mysterious data, but if only the Elder could vouch for you to join us.
Oh, what can the followers do for you, friend? Oh, don't flatter me so soon. What kind of technology are we talking about? Do you need to recalibrate an AR-12 laser rifle? Or perhaps adjust the lenses of a T-45D helmet? I could do that. Oh, yeah, I think I may have an idea of what that is. Surprisingly similar to something I read about in the War Cloaking chapter of the complete edition of U.S. Covert Operations Manual. That would be a Haigui stealth suit, a special pre-war weapon from the Republic of China. A very rare find. Bypassing them? Sadly not. I'm almost certain of it. U.S. Covert Operations Manual detailed these suits often came with biometric readers to render the suit unusable outside of registered users. Not sure how exactly those readers work, but the spring locks won't release unless you possess the genetic match of the registered user. You could try frying the spring locks with a high output voltage, then manually removing them, but I wouldn't recommend it. Really, I can't help you with that. Sorry. Well, if you're down for a read, I could hand you my copy of U.S. Covert Operations Manual. Could give you some ideas if you're smart enough. You could also try seeking help from the Brotherhood of Steel, but they are more likely to confiscate that thing from you than helping. If you have a small fortune to spare, you could also try reaching out to Madame Ling. But, well... Here it is! An excellent book, but a bit long and tedious at times. Still very complex, but very complete at the same time. Hope you find a way around it. Best of luck to you.
You're not worthy of what you claim!
We just had word that the town of Prim is now part of the NCR. At this rate, they'll be running the whole region soon.
You like that?
lucky gal I am.
Come to me, my dear. It's time we have that face-to-face conversation. Don't be shy. I'm waiting for you in the research section of the bunker.
Well, look who came here after all. Seems like my little birds have earned their caps this time. Wasn't sure you would take the bait. I see you've survived my little stunt with the Securitrons. Not a surprise considering what you did to all my associates. But none of that matters now. Here you are, my dear courier. A weird nickname, isn't it? What kind of gun for hire would call itself the Angel, right? But see, a man doesn't always choose his own fame, nor even the appellations that follows behind. It's the simple choice of either adopting what they call you and turn it into your greatest weapon, or rather spend an eternity fleeing it. Yes, I'm the Seraphim. Why baiting you here? Well, how could I put it nicely? Let us just say that I'm after a particular trinket. A trinket that you have very recently acquired. And to be more specific, a trinket you've gone to great length to restore to working order. Wasn't expecting that kind of commitment, really. Clever, clever! Yes, That would be right. More like a corporate-owned laboratory affiliated with the U.S. Armed Forces pre-war, but that's beside the point. For us, just our hideout. I'm sure you of all people can understand the value of using such a place as a temporary base of operations. Bingo! Smart one. Exactly what I told the others about. Now, to be honest with you, I really came a long way just to claim this particular relic of the past. Oh, not for my personal use, no. I have no needs for such a fancy piece of technology. No, I'm just a man on a contract. My employers knew about that thing for a long time. How it was likely resting on the Colorado's riverbed. They have their own ways. That's why before my crew got here, I hired the scrap divers to collect the artifact for me. You're smart. You know how that ended. I don't like the term murder. It means they stood a chance at any moment. Why did I try to put that miserable crew down? Because they tried to double-cross me! I had struck an arrangement, and quite a generous one with Miss Cousteau. We knew each other since a long time. I expected better. Cousteau located what I paid her to find, but then immediately sent a message to the Shiz, tried to fuck our arrangement over. Old hag let her greed unchecked, and that's why her and all her little friends are now resting at the bottom of the Colorado. Perhaps, but there's something I learned the hard way. Your underlings, your responsibility. Cousteau brought them all to this grave, not me. But even if she didn't play that stupid game, they all knew too much about the entire charade. The mere reason why you ended up sticking your nose in my business is the proof they were too chatty, unreliable, and stupid beyond their control. In the end, they were all just loose ends that needed to be cut sooner or later. Lindy? Oh, you mean that little mouse that survived all her little friends. Ah, yes. Was it necessary? Poor little soul. Well, she too was a loose end, even more since she saw all of us. She could have tried denouncing us to the NCR forces at the Mojave outpost. Well, it's the frontier, facing legal repercussions. What a joke! But like I said to the others, you don't half-punish people. Either you bury them all, or you don't. If one survives, that's botched business. Well, if it can cajole your brain, just know I gave her a good death. Up until now, the scrap divers failed me, and I had to clean that up. My associates? Morons that didn't even ask you to hand us that suit over. Well, and to say I was told you were a paragon of virtue, was expecting some one-dimensional weakling, really, ready to surrender the suit to me. But you won't give it to me, no matter the offer, no matter the price. You won't compromise. I respect that. After all, the courier died when your fate crossed that suit. They call you Stelfenza now. Isn't that funny? but that doesn't change the fact that I still need your suit to complete my contract. An unfortunate situation, really. There are worse places to die, don't you think? Omicron facility? I'll remember that bunker as your mausoleum, my dear Stealthenza. It was time, wasn't it? Medicine. Delaying the inevitable.
The syndicate greets you, Stealthenza. We have a message to convey to you. The outfit has lost interest in that matter. Your ownership of the artifact won't be questioned by us anymore. Furthermore, your murder of the esteemed and now regretted Seraphim won't be considered an aggression towards our organization. This is, however, our last warning. Interfere again with our interests, and we won't be so lenient next time. There are things far more frightening than the Seraphim that dwells within our syndicate's ranks. This is our last warning. Never forget that.
If you're interested in some Braxi products, run to Madame Ringa. She's the boss when it comes to sales, sir.
So, you're the one they call Stealthenza, right? Then, perhaps a figure of your caliber would be interested in some of my products. I'm Madame Ling. Don't let yourself be fooled by my current contract with the OSI. My shop is still open for decent mercs with enough caps. We of the Black Shenlong have the best toys of the entire black market, from here to New Reno, for a price. Some dragons like to hide with their jewels in the bowels of the earth, hiding, waiting, worthless worms, afraid of quitting their rest. Others are, however, much wiser. Some prefer sharing their gems to mere mortals, giving them shards of their treasure to keep them dociles. Amongst the descendants of the Shi Huangti, few are those who remember the echoes of the civilization we once belonged to. And fewer are those that remind what we were a mere decades ago. A bastion of innovation, one that even the Enclave and the Brotherhood feared. What remains of the Shi now cower in our capital of Chinatown, making trinkets only for ourselves, fearing the day the NCR will inevitably annex us. Those of us who refused and wished to share our trinkets were then labeled as warmongers and exiled, shoring left and right across California. You perhaps heard that us of the Black Shenlong now own the majority of the black market. This is a wrong and misleading statement. We are the black market.
You were expecting me to talk like that?
No child of the Black Shenlong or even the Shi had any troubles learning your tongue, and even less spelling it properly. Unfortunately, our Junfas have decided that such a caricaturesque accent would only benefit our sales and make our products more exotic. It is near mandatory for our guards and law representatives, but for someone of my status, I refuse to lower myself to these kinds of levels. Excellent. I have a variety of guns, armors, and gadgets that may complement well that magnificent stealth armor of yours. The Shang-Chi pistol is, like its name suggests, a direct descendant of the Shang-Chi series handguns produced by our ancestors before Armageddon. Still, it is not based on the debilitatingly ineffective Type 17 pistol, mind you, but rather of its improved variation, the Type 26. Said Type 26, like the Type 25 Jurong, added an inbuilt overheater while introducing an accelerating module, feature we retained in our product. We have, however, carried out our own improvements and enhancements for the Shang-Chi pistol, notably with a modified chambering and reinforced barrel. This product can be chambered without issues in standard 9mm, but can also beneficiate of our unique, high-tech 8.5mm projectiles for more impact. For the least fortunate, we can only propose our 8.5mm Inferno, which will combust inside your targets as soon as the bullet reaches them. For a few more caps, we can also propose Radiant ammo, where the bullet will explode into a flare nanoseconds after leaving the barrel. For bigger purses, I can, however, also suggest our special accelerated ammo, where the acceleration module of the Shang-Chi is put to its best use. Such ammo will propel its special bullets at about 1,800 meters a second, ensuring none of your enemies have any chance to survive once you pull the trigger. The Juyen is our most popular product at the moment. We scavenged its design from an older weapon used by our ancestors, German of origin, I think. It functions under the simple concept of burst rifles, 3 individual projectiles propelled one after another at such speed they seem to come together. It is a simple weapon, yet one that the uneducated of the NCR really appreciate and praise for its excellent effectiveness. If we could drastically increase its production, we of the Black Shenlong have no doubts it could someday even phase out the pitiful service rifle. The Herbe? A fancy piece of technology, really. It is a short sword, forged by our artisans with ancestral techniques used for past Chinese blades. The blade may be thin, but it is made from a mix of hard steel alloy and titanium shards, sharp enough to bisect a sentry bot. The best touch of the weapon, however, remains in the inner circuitry path encased in the blade itself and flowed by an electric current of about 45 milliamps. Was a very popular product in the last 2 decades, when the witch hunt for Enclave survivors was in full swing. But it has fallen in desuetude. You perhaps are familiar with the Gauss rifle, an item the Brotherhood of Steel have long attempted to remove from the bounty hunting market. The traditional Gauss design comes with a preloaded projectiles reserve, projectiles later accelerated by 11 coils as a sort of rail cannon. The drawback is, however, the energy cost of said coils, which will fire at the modest price of 5 microfusion cells per shot. We deemed it inefficient. A relation model fixes that by scrapping entirely the overly complex inbuilt projectiles reserve, thus saving space for drastic adjustments. At the place, we instead installed a miniaturized breeder source to power the 15 next-generation coils we added. Our Gauss rifle, thus, doesn't require any more special cells to accelerate its projectiles, but will need to be fed projectiles in the first place. The scope of the original model has, however, been retained for commercial purposes. Helps with the popularity of the product. The Longfei? One of our latest developed products, and one of our most expensive. Both for you, customer, but also for our gunsmiths to make. To sum it up, it's a super light, semi-automatic, and low-recoil anti-material rifle. Best choice to shred power armors or buildings alike. The Longfei put to shame the Gunrunner's AMR, the very same that the veteran rangers put so much pride into. And it's not even a contest. Add to that it benefits from better electro-optics and a more adequate chambering in 12.7mm. Those? Well, we currently have a surplus of those delightful vests that our guards get as uniforms. Don't be mistaken by their looks. They are surprisingly light and comfortable for clothes capable of bouncing small bullets and energy shots alike. I'm not sure my peers back west would really agree with me proposing them for sales, but, well, caps are caps. My expertise is very demanding and demanded, my dear customer. I suggest you avoid bothering me without a decent business proposal.
I'm exhausted, driving the truck all the way up to South to queue to my driver. I'm exhausted, driving the truck all the way up to South to queue to my driver.